Howdy, this is a Citizen Eco Drive watch. It's in German military type B format on the face. Nice shiny metal. What I'm really looking at though and reviewing is the rubber watch strap. It's in racing style, it's got the holes in the bands. This particular one is made in the UK by Alex Moss, and it has circular Nato loops for holding. When I first got it, it felt really premium and thick and lush, and when I put it on my wrist, it was nice and taut, and it just seemed to stick to my wrist. I've had it for about 2 months so far, and it still remained the same. Basically, it sticks to my wrist, and I can even relax the tension a little bit, bring it another lug space back, and it will still stick to my wrist through most of the activity I do in the day, except if I'm doing something where I'm moving my arm a lot. If it's too loose, it'll move a little bit in that scenario, but that's when I've got it basically, probably I guess you'd call it undone really. But when I put it to something like this, where it's just wrapped around nice and neatly, it's not pulling too tight, it's got really excellent grip on my arm, and the watch doesn't slide around despite it being a reasonably heavy watch. It's got a bit of extra space on it too, if you can see that. There's a bit of extra strappage. It's got a really lovely texture about it actually. It feels, I guess, like snake skin or shark skin or something. So it's got this really nice texture on it, and it just makes it feel a bit less like rubber and more like something that's premium. So I quite appreciate that. It's got, it's a little bit nicer than just plain old silicone rubber. It doesn't have that plasticky feel either that you get with like cheap rubber straps from China, etc., or from Western vendors that basically import them from China. This feels like proper, legitimate organic rubber. It's not a silicone blend as far as I can tell. Not that I know much about that. Anyway, it looks really pretty. I think it suits the watch pretty much. It's a little bit long, so I'm thinking about actually trimming it back a little bit so it just sits onto the top section there. It doesn't have to be lapped around, though it's not too hard to undo and do all that with. What I might do is I'll just undo the watch, forgive the bad scenery, so you can see the strap laid out itself, and I'll show you the back and how it sits as well. Okay, so there's the strap, and you can see it's got 2 sections to go through, like a NATO strap, and it's got these lugs. They're nice stainless steel too, they feel really good. It feels like something you'd buy, some sort of premium stainless navy steel, nautical steel that you'd buy, that it's not going to rust, and it's reasonably easy to come out. I find it really good in the tropics. I live in the tropics of Australia, and the weather here is really harsh. It's really humid, so a lot of my sweat acid and stuff is going to eventually attack it. I've had it for about 2 months, and we went through the end of the last wet season where the humidity was really high, and so I was sweating on it all the time. And the really good thing I found about it is that I can wash it when I get home from work that night, and it's dry within half an hour or an hour. So I can wear it again later, or I can, in the morning it'll be nice and dry, which is good because all my NATO straps, they don't dry for a couple of days. It's that humid, whereas the rubber, it dries much easier. And yeah, so I'm really glad I actually spent the extra money on it. I think it's definitely worth it. A quality NATO strap's going to set you back $30 Australian anyway. This one was, I think, just over $40, maybe closer to 50 Australian. And I'm glad I spent that money. I think that the difference of it being able to be washed and worn in the tropics, and it still breathes really well because of these holes, and the quality, the feeling of the quality, it feels, there's actually attention to detail. So have a look at this, the stitching here. It's a really strong quality stitching. That's good stuff. And yeah, it's good stuff. Has a really lovely texture. Feels good on just when it flops. feels skin-like. Alright, cheers.